Hi guys, my name is Natalie with expertenglish.online. Welcome to my channel. I bring you English lessons every Sunday. If you watched my last video, you know that the lighting is way better in this video. And no, I didn't buy any fancy lighting equipment or change my setup at all. It's just that it's a nice sunny day in Moscow. Now, sunny days during the winter here are actually quite rare. So on a sunny day, my mood is usually really happy. Happy. Yeah, I guess it is happy. But the problem with words like happy, sad, angry is that they don't really let you use a full range of emotion. They're very basic words. So, in order to express how you're really feeling, and me right now, that's ecstatic, which is really, really, really happy, you need to use some more descriptive words. And that is the topic of our lesson today: how to say what you feel in English. Let's start with the word happy. I gave you the first option, ecstatic. Ecstatic means to be in a state of ecstasy. For example, I haven't seen the sun for several weeks. I am ecstatic about the weather. Another way to say that you're very, very happy about something is overjoyed. For example, when she called me and invited me to visit her in France, I was overjoyed. Overjoyed here literally means overflowing with joy or happiness. At the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the word sad. There are several ways that you can express your feelings of sadness. The first is to be down in the dumps. To be down in the dumps means to feel very unhappy or without hope, hopeless. An example, I always feel down in the dumps when I have to go back to work after a long weekend. Another way to say that you're sad is I'm at the end of my rope. To be at the end of your rope means to no longer be able to deal with a difficult situation or problem. For example, I'm at the end of my rope looking for a job after so many months without any luck. And if you're very, very sad, for example, after a tragic event, what you could say is, I'm grief stricken. That is literally meant to say that you've been hit or struck by grief. Usually we use this in situations where you've maybe broken up with a long-term boyfriend or a close friend or relative has passed away. It is a very, very strong way to say that you're sad. Although this isn't the best emotion to be experiencing ever, we all have days when we're just angry. There are a few ways that you can express your anger. The first is to bite someone's head off. To bite someone's head off means to respond to someone with anger. For example, I asked her one simple question and she bit my head off. Another way to describe anger is a black mood. This means to be irritable, angry, perhaps even depressed. For example, if you want to ask your boss for a day off, but you see that he's in a black mood, it's best not to approach him today. Another way to say that you're angry about something is to say that something drove you up the wall. To drive someone up the wall means to annoy someone or to irritate someone. For example, her constant whining drove me up the wall, so I just left. We all have moments when we're scared of something. One way that you can say that you're scared is to say that you have, get, or feel butterflies in your stomach. The meaning of this is to feel very nervous or excited about something that you have to do, especially when that something is really important. For example, I'm going to have the first meeting with a really important client tomorrow, and I'm just feeling butterflies in my stomach. I'm so nervous. We also get butterflies in our stomach when we have a job interview or right before we walk down the aisle at our wedding or when we have a first date. When someone is afraid of everything or really jumpy, that person is afraid of their own shadow. Just means that they're very easily frightened. For example, true story, after I watched the Blair Witch Project, I was afraid of my own shadow for months. I jumped at every noise. I couldn't sleep with the lights off. It's very embarrassing, but it is true. And another way that we can say that we're scared is that we're petrified of something. Now, petrified means so scared that you cannot move or can't decide what to do in a situation. For example, someone might be petrified of spiders. So when they see a spider, they freeze in place or they start screaming and yelling and they're not thinking clearly anymore. The last feeling we're going to talk about today is the feeling of being confused. There are a few ways you can talk about confusion. First, I feel out of it today. To feel out of it means to not be in a state of normal mind. For example, you could feel out of it when you have been on a long flight and experiencing jet lag. You might not know what time it is or even where in the world you are. I feel out of it today after this flight. Another way to say that you're confused is to puzzle over something. This means to think carefully about someone or something for a long time and try really hard to understand it or them. For example, I puzzled over the assignment for a few days before I finally decided to call my teacher for help. And the last way that we can feel confused is to be ambivalent about something. To be ambivalent about something means to feel two different ways about someone or something at the same time. For example, you could like and hate something at the same time, and that would cause you to feel confused. You can feel this way about a person when you first start dating them. For example, I'm feeling ambivalent about this new guy I'm dating. Sometimes he's around a lot, sometimes he disappears. Not sure. I like him and hate him at the same time. You could also feel ambivalent about a certain food. For example, you could love chocolate cake, but hate how long it takes you to work it off in the gym. So you could be ambivalent about chocolate cake. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please subscribe down below and hit like. You can also find me on Instagram at expertenglish.online. See you next week.